traumatic situation, and they were devastated by it.
A single gunshot. That's what Pinellas County Sheriff Bob Gualtieri says killed 2-year-old Caleb Aulis. Aulis was in his parents' car where his father, Kevin Aulis, stored his handgun. And all of a sudden,
you had a small kid who unfortunately got his hands on the gun, turned the gun towards his chest, and pulled the trigger on it.
But this is not an isolated incident. According to a study from Everytown for Gun Safety, at least 100 children were killed in unintentional shootings in 2013. That means at least 2 children died every week.
They cite a 3-fold increase in the risk of homicide if there's a gun in the house, and a 5-fold increase in the risk of suicide if there's a gun in the house.
Dr. Jody Brown says the younger a child is, the less likely they are to understand the possible consequences behind guns.
Curiosity is a natural attribute that can be very helpful in the right circumstances. It can be really dangerous if you have lethal weapons around. Would a 2-year-old have an abstract understanding of the consequences of firing a live weapon? I would say probably not.
That's basically what the diamond's going to look like.
Jack Pickett owns a local gun range. He's a concealed carry permit holder and a father of 5.
My kids are not going to disarm me.
He is confident he taught his children proper gun safety tips when they were little. Yet we still see situations like these, dozens of children involved in accidental shootings every month. Looking at Everytown's study of 66 shootings, in 73% of those incidents, the shooter was under 14 years old, and 41% of the firearms belonged to the parent.
So the big question here is whether the laws currently in place are enough to prevent these incidents from happening. Now, take a look at Caleb's case. He was able to get a hold of a gun his father stored inside the glove compartment, a place the law says is perfectly legal to store a firearm.
With your rights come responsibilities. You have the right to carry that firearm with you with a concealed weapon permit, but you have the responsibility to carry it safely.
The state of Florida was one of the first to implement additional laws to combat this problem. Child access prevention laws hold negligent gun owners liable if a child hurts someone with their gun, something many Second Amendment supporters see as a threat to their rights.
Unfortunately, accidents happen. If we throw emotion out of it and just look at the facts, I think the facts say the less guns you have around, the less fatalities with guns.
Pickett says all this could be avoided by simply educating children. So I took his crash course on gun safety and learned just how easy it is to fire a round. It's an idea Pickett's made a part of his business.
Sometimes when a parent says to a child, "Hey, don't touch this weapon," well, that's one thing. But when I say it with the parent right there, backing up what the parent says and saying, "Hey, this is an unsafe thing. Don't mess with this weapon."
Both he and law enforcement agree. Storing firearms properly is the best way to keep children and others safe.
I've always recommended that your home protection piece be carried on you at all times, because you don't get to pick when.
That's when you may be in danger, even of a child. Nicole Acevedo, WUFT News.